Good morning. The sunshine is nice. I don't know if you caught that yet. Uh, I barely did because I've been running all morning. Um, we, I was just sitting here thinking because many of you are here every Monday morning, and if you can't make it, you let me know. Uh, and Carla Faye Torgerson, she's in Nashville. She just posted on the question thing. She said it's snowing there, so good for them, and I'm glad we aren't getting it. But I'm humbled that you would even presume to think I would have something important enough to say that you will take your time to log in and listen to this. I don't take my responsibility to you lightly, and I put a good bit of time thinking and trying to make sure that I uh, make every effort of time and planning to impact your thinking and uh, hopefully to impact your business because that's what this is really about. Um, I just want to remind you and give you a word here just to remind you. There are two things I think are really important. The first one is to be real, be genuine. You don't have to fake. You know, you're talented, you're smart, you're all these things. So be real, be comfortable with who you are, and then think and live forward. It doesn't do you any good to worry about what happened yesterday or what you didn't do or what you failed at doing. The critical thing is to think and live forward because that's where your success is. It's on a forward basis. Uh, I had a friend I made in Las Vegas who had a very successful career as a professional musician. He'd won a couple of Grammys and back in the 70s and had a group that traveled all over the country, sang in major performance centers across the country. And he had gone through a downtime in his life. And in the early 90s, is when I met him. He was positively a unique guy, just very talented, but he was so frustrated because no one would pay any attention to him. And I said to him in as kind of way as I could, I said, it doesn't matter what you've been, it's what you are now. And so I would say that same thing to you. Whatever you were yesterday, good for you if you were extremely successful and everything else. But nobody really cares, not even your family. They're concerned about what you are today and what you're planning to do tomorrow. So I would just encourage you think and live forward. And I love this little saying: "If it helps you, it helps me." And I just want to make it very clear to you that although I'm a sharing, giving, thinking of others type person, I'm ultimately selfish. I firmly believe that whatever I do for you will help me. If I empower agents, this makes First National Realty stronger and better. And that's why we focus on you. And then there's another thing that came up last week, and I thought this was really interesting. I had a broker from another firm, small firm, who called me. She was a little stressed about having written a deal for a buyer that she thought she was the only one working with this buyer. There was an agent in our office apparently who had been working with the same buyer. The buyer played both of them. Okay. So she called me and she was really stressed. She had written an offer on a property. The buyer said nothing to her about it. She was concerned about the agent in this office. And folks, I really rarely, if ever, I slip if I do say one of my agents. You're not my agent. You're an independent business person, so I don't think of you in that regard. But she referred to one of my agents and named the lady. And I told her, I said, I'm going to tell you, I know this lady to be a straight up professional. She understands the reality of what business is, and she understands people. Well, it was interesting to me. This agent from my office came in a little bit later that day and wanted to talk to me about this. And I tried to give her you get in these situations and it's more, my opinion about what might be the best thing. And I don't want to press my opinion on someone to do that because it's my opinion. She needed to come to grips with how she would do it. So I shared with her what my opinion was, what she should do. But what was interesting to me later was she said she did call this other broker. They had a positive conversation. She thought everything was okay. But she said this other broker said that I had good things to say about her. And this agent from our office said to me, I really appreciate that. And I thought, wow, do you think I wouldn't say the positive things about you? I mean, I just thought that in my head. I thought it was kind of interesting that she felt the need to say to me that she really appreciated me saying positive things about her. Well, number one, I don't know anything negative. And number two, I would never disparage an agent that works with me. Never. Now, if you shoot yourself in the foot and you do something stupid and you expect me to mop up, you need to come to me early and let me know, and I will certainly do everything I can. But loyalty from me to you, that is never a factor. I will be loyal to you because we work together, and I think that's the only way to live. So you don't have to worry about my loyalty to you. And I've had agents say to me when I attacked a situation that was not right, they would say to me, geez, I really appreciate you standing up for me. Well, standing up for you isn't a question. I will definitely stand up for you. But the important thing is keep your word, do what you say you'll do. I just had this happen, and it was this morning, and I finally got in my office about 5 minutes till 10. Uh, this person had asked me, would I be a reference? And it's a build. One of them's a builder. The other person is not, but he's tied into the builder. Well, I have a client in this office that I had suggested, or an agent in this office who has clients from out of state who are looking to put money here. Well, so this agent called me this morning and wanted to know what kind of reference would I give for these two people. Well, one of them, I said 110% positively, I think you can take it to the bank. But I did not know this builder, whose name will remain unknown, was in the mix. And she asked me, what about him? I said, yes, I know the name. However, because of his response to at least three agents in this office, I said, I am a little bit troubled because he had an opportunity to take the high road and do what was right. But instead, I said it could be like most other builders under a lot of stress and pressure. I said he kind of let that become involved in the situation. I said I don't think he did professionally what I feel like he should have done. And if I name the builder, there are two or three of you who would take the microphone and let the world know exactly how you feel. But my point is, this becomes a small world, and you never know when you'll need the goodwill of someone else. Now, I'm an observer of these things, and when you complain to me about an issue and we go through details, I'm going to tell you, I don't forget who that name is. And it's just interesting how life goes in a small circle. And at some point, when that other party, whether it's an agent or broker or builder, whatever, when they need my reference, not that they would necessarily, they will not get a positive response from me to whoever needs the reference. So my point is, keep your word, do what you say you'll do. Life will be a whole lot better for everybody concerned. And I can just assure you, I will always be there, be your friend, support your work and your effort to be successful. Now, we have Elaine Mohammed, and let's do a Walmart update. Elaine, if you would, please. The microphone's yours.
All righty. Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to give you an update on the 3-day conference that we attended in Phoenix, Arizona on the 13th through the 15th of March. There was actually 7 of us that attended. Donald and Marissa Mayall Matt and Caramel, George Roser, Karen Payne, and myself. We really, really had a great time, and I can say that the WW Franchise Company, they really welcomed us with open arms and really made us feel at home while we were there. We thanks to Larry, we had a special training session that was set up just for us with Daniel McCarthy, who was the pioneer of the Walmart walk-in locations. We also got to visit a couple of walk-in locations while we were there, talk with the managers, agents, and kind of observe them interacting with potential customers or clients while we were there. And we were able to see Wade, who was one of the managers at one of those locations. He got a lead pretty quickly. So, we were really pleased to see that with the Walmart locations coming into our area at some point. We were really excited to see that, this happening in action, and that it's really real, and it's not difficult to do as long as you're willing to put in the work to do it. But we all left feeling really excited about our part in all of this, and can't wait for everything to get going. As far as an update for the first Walmart store opening, as of now, we're still not sure as to when the first location will open. And just to kind of put things into perspective concerning that, Walmart is a huge retailer, and they have had some changes within the last few months that have kind of caused them to kind of maybe slow down and make sure that they're moving forward in the right direction with these locations. They have had one of their concepts within their locations to file bankruptcy on them, which is the photo shops that are in there, which has tied up some of their spaces. And with Walmart being as conservative as they are, of course, they're going to make sure that they get in front of this and make sure that every concept that goes into those locations have the ability to be able to go into the business, operate without any hiccups. And because of that, they've kind of put the brakes on it and want to be sure that moving forward, they're taking their time rolling out these spaces to be leased out by not just First National or WW franchises for the Walmart locations, for everyone. So we're kind of at the mercy of Walmart with that. Even the franchise company, everyone is kind of at the mercy of Walmart when it comes to when that first location will be open. But we're excited. We know that we're going to be moving forward with it. It's just a matter of, we just kind of had a little setback as far as time goes. But in the meantime, we are in the process of preparing some training. Everyone that attended, we all got together and we brainstormed and came up with some really, really great ideas for training for agents with First National for these Walmart locations, as well as making sure that the back agent system is working like we need it to. The training is in place. Everyone is ready to go. So when those locations are open, we're on top of it and ready.
Okay. Thanks, Elaine.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about HUD. You ought to sit in my chair, folks. But I want to review this to make sure you know, and I have no doubt that all of you do. And if you don't, you certainly have enough sense to ask. Last Thursday afternoon, about 5 o'clock, I noticed a contract in my slot on the wall up at the front where you come in. And I pulled it out. It was a contract with Ernest Check. I didn't pay attention. I didn't know why it was in my box. So I looked at it. I handed it to Lynn. And I said, please put this on Tennille's desk. Well, I noticed who the agent was and I noticed the address, but it didn't register with me. So the next morning, early, I got an email notification from the HUD contractor I work for, Ofori, and it copied me. It was an email to this agent who's not in this office, that the offer or the bid she had won was canceled because she didn't get her contract in within the 48-hour deadline. Now, everybody knows it's a 48-hour deadline and there is no forbearance. And I looked at that. The name of the agent was the same that put that contract in my box file on the wall, and it was the same property. I thought, you have got to be kidding me. I remembered seeing a Tennessee contract. Now, here is an agent who honestly has been in the business 12 to 15 years at least. She wrote a HUD. She won the HUD bid on HUD Home Store. She then wrote that offer on a offer to purchase contract that was a TAR form, Tennessee Association of Realtor form, and the earnest money check, and she put that in my slot in this office, and it was a HUD bid. Now, uh, so I was totally, and I emailed to Neil. I said, you have got to be kidding me. I said, forget this. I had it put on your desk. But folks, I don't know how, but anyhow, it happened. And then she called, probably took an hour of Lynn's time trying to get Lynn to help her. And she told Lynn she wanted to talk to me. And I told Lynn I had no time to talk to her. If she's that bad off, she needs to talk to her broker. And so that was one. Okay. Now she lost that bid. And if she gets it back, it's not up to me. Then we had another lady from the major firm who, honestly, folks, this is not a joke. She called because I had got to the point where she had strained every bit of goodwill I had to try to help her. She honestly called Lynn and wanted to know, could Lynn get an agent to write her HUD offer on a contract? Serious. This woman's been in the business 20 plus years. And it's just amazing to me, folks. Now, I'm all for everybody. If you call me and say, look, could you help me with this? I will crawl to China and back to help you. But people who know more than any of the rest of us do, and please, I just don't get that. So let me review quickly with you on the HUD so we have a good understanding of what life is about, okay? I'm going to pull up the HUD contract or the HUD website. When you want to register for HUD, you need to go to this website and you click the register link up here as a bidder. That's where you will register to be able to put bids in on properties. Now, for anything else and to understand how this works, you can go to the frequently asked questions section, and it covers everything there that you need to know, okay? I think one of the interesting things that apparently some people don't get, there is more HUD inventory available in this market than any other resource. This will be the prime resource for years to come, simply because that in this market particularly, there are more FHA loans done than any other type loan. So when an FHA loan forecloses, it becomes a HUD property for liquidation. So I would suggest you spend some time learning this inventory, learning how to submit your offer. And if you need some help, all you have to do is call me or call, maybe you got a friend here in the firm who understands that. However we can help you, I'll help you. But on this FAQ section, the link, they have training videos. They've got printed questions with answers that you can easily review and catch on to it. But it's interesting. The only other thing you need is an experienced HUD broker. I have 10 plus years experience listing HUD properties and have listed and sold over 10,000 HUD properties. That doesn't make me any smarter than anybody else. But as important as this inventory category is now and will become going forward, it is important that a broker know how to spell it. And that includes how you put the contract together, all the rules, et cetera. And obviously the broker has to have a NAID number. There was some lady in an office, her broker didn't have a NAID number, and she tried to get one of the agents here to let her use or to do the bidding for her so she could do that. I mean, that just, and we can't do that. This is HUD. You can't play around with federal issues. So, but the point is you need to learn this inventory and learn how to submit a HUD bid. And I know some of you, and I can name 2 or 3 that are online now, who just detest the very idea of trying to do HUD. But I'm telling you, it's a lot of inventory, and there may be one next door to a property you've got listed or whatever that's going to come up, and you'll miss a sale if you don't understand how to work the HUD inventory. Okay. And folks, you don't call the listing broker for HUD to try to walk you through it. That's not what we do necessarily. I mean, I certainly try to help people, but you need to go to your own broker, find out how to do it. You'll be a lot better off than trying to depend on somebody else that may not really know the details that you need to know. Okay? Anybody have a question about HUD? I think it's just an important inventory category that you really need to know. But if you do, separate from this, and you need some help, all you have to do is let me know. But the first step you need to take is to register on the HUD Home Store website. Everything related to that inventory is anchored on the HUD Home Store website. If it ain't there, it ain't for sale. It's already been sold. You can watch. Sometimes they come back, but everything, I can't change what I've got in my inventory to reflect that. We have to wait until they tell us, okay, we've got this under contract. It may have disappeared from the website 2 or 3, 4 days prior. But that website, HUDHomestore.com, is the critical point of information for inventory. Okay, I hope that helps. But it really is important to learn this HUD inventory. We've got one question. Okay, no, it's a statement. This agent's a few months with their office. She said, "Okay, you've talked me into giving HUD a try." Good. Okay, let's talk about business in the cloud. That term cloud, honestly, a year or two ago, I got into an argument with my son, Mark, who is an ex-Marine jerk, especially when it comes to technology. Well, how could you be so stupid and not understand? Well, I was trying to get him to, I wanted to do some things with this cloud concept. He said, well, we already do it. We're paperless and virtual. Our admin is in fact, a cloud. Well, I honestly didn't believe him. And okay, somebody just posted on the HUDs. If you want to know about the repairs, don't call the listing broker to find out about the repairs. There is a property condition report that is available on the HUD Home Store website under the addendums tab. I think that's the one it's under. And you can print off the property condition report. And remember that HUD requires, there are a lot of details on this you can find out, but HUD requires anyone doing an FHA loan, they have to use their appraisal that's already done. And this PCR would be the basis for condition on that appraisal. But that there is an addendum on there called the PCR, Property Condition Report. You can print off and see what the repairs are for the property. Thanks for alerting me about that. Okay, so let's get back to the cloud thing, business in the cloud. It simply means in a virtual sense, okay? One other post about that, remember that the property condition repair is not a substitute for an inspection. Very true. Always have an inspection done. Okay, now let's get to the cloud. So my point about this, in the cloud means virtual. And if you've been with us a while, you can relax because we've been existing in the cloud for several years, okay? I want to watch Lexi's presentation on the, if I can get to it, here it is. Just listen to this and we'll come back to it in a second.
Three industry leaders in the shared online workspaces for the real estate industry. Although they are all shared workspaces, they are all very much different. dotloop is an online workspace that allows you to invite all parties to the space and collaborate. What makes dotloop different is the ability for your buyers and sellers to sign virtually within the system, making wet signatures a thing of the past. In addition, dotloop will store your files for 7 years on the cloud. There is a basic form of dotloop available at no cost and an upgraded version for $20 per month. uCloser gives every client a branded home toolkit that they can use to stay organized before and after closing. Your clients will have access to your preferred vendors with one click and is very simple to use and great for your client's experience. In addition, there's an interactive checklist that guides your client through the entire process. uCloser is free for up to 5 leads and then $29 per month. Doorsteps, my favorite, will help you stand out to a new generation of home buyers from the first step to their doorstep. An online tool that educates and empowers each of your current prospective buyers to make faster, better decisions, making them more confident and more qualified. Every step they take is fed into a rich buyer profile, so you always have the latest updates at your fingertips. Whether they hope to buy a home in 2 months or in 2 years, Doorstep gets them ready better and gives you a pipeline of confident, committed buyers. Doorsteps has a 30-day free trial and then is $25 per month. If you are not already using a shared Welcome back. There are 3 industry leaders in the shared online workspaces for the real estate industry.
Okay, I don't know what happened, why that kept back. But, okay, so that's the concept. She showed us 3 workspaces, but let me see if I can even reduce it to something perhaps a little simpler. So that's the connection. I also provided you the link so you can watch that if you choose. What this workspace will do, if you can think of it, that your home office and your desk, you can sit there on your computer at your home office at your desk, and you can invite a potential client to your office desk in a virtual sense, in the cloud. So through this software, which by the way, it will be provided to you guys free in our system, you can invite that client, potential client, to your workspace, your desk, okay? Your desk is virtual. Now, then you can actually have your client sign the offer to purchase, your offer you're going to make on the property. They can do that virtually. That's what she's just saying there, through the software that you're working from, and think of the software as being your desk, okay? So they're there. You can push this across your desk. The file, you can upload it, send it to them at your desk, and they can sign it in a virtual sense, e-sign it, and then you save it to file. Then you can invite the other agent or the other side, the agent on the other side. You can invite them to come. You can review the offer with them if you choose, and they can look at the offer, understand the offer, and then they will get in their car and drive to their client. And while you're sitting at your home office, they will take the offer and go to their client and get their client to either accept, reject, or counter. So that process begins where you have everybody sharing your workspace. Now, when you have a negotiated contract, an executed contract, then you can invite to your desk, your workspace, you can invite the closing attorney, the appraiser, the home inspector, and your buyer can be aware of those steps that you indicate the buyer needs to know and be in the loop. Same with the agent on the other side. So you're all sharing these files and you're sharing the workspace, and your job then becomes much easier for you to manage your time. You don't have to go out and drive and spend money on gas and everything else. You're working from this workspace. Now, I want to keep this as simple as I can, but this is an extension of what I've talked about and tried to build into my systems, and my systems wind up looking homemade. But so I want to share with you this other one that I think gives us a really good, by the way, this is Doorsteps. This is the software that ultimately we'll be using. And then I want you to watch this because this really helps you. And folks, don't think about internet, virtual, think your desk. And so when you see these graphics as they use them, yes, there will be a link for this resource in Back Agent. Okay, someone just asked that. Okay, so watch this. Don't think all this high technology There's a question, which system is this available on Back Agent on our, it will be on Back Agent, okay? And we'll be giving you the access information of the training for it shortly. We're finalizing, I think this week, we should have Back Agent polished and ready to go. And then as soon as that's done, we'll start introducing some of these other elements. Okay, just watch this to understand about how this can work in a virtual sense. Okay, here we go.
With the new Matchware shared workspace, you can now collaborate on your mind maps more easily than ever. This is perfect for online brainstorming sessions, group work, and project management. Simply upload a MindView file directly through your desktop application or through the shared workspace and share it with other account holders. To upload a file, simply create a new folder in the My Documents section by selecting the New Folder icon. Name the folder. Hit Enter on your keyboard, and then select the Upload icon. Browse on your computer for the file you'd like to upload. Select your folder and choose Open, and then choose.
Oh, come on. Give me a second. Sammy, that was your fault. Okay, let's go again. Here we go.
Fine. The document owner can also grant read or write access to the users they invite. To invite a user, simply select the file you'd like to share, select the drop-down icon, and choose Share Options. From the Share Options dialog, I would then add users. I'm able to add users from within my organization or invite external users by entering their email address. Users within my organization, I simply check the boxes of the users I'd like to invite, grant them read or write access, and choose Add. Once the users have been added, I select Close, choose Save. Those users will now receive an email with information to link and open this file through the Matchware shared workspace. If I'd like to review who I've shared the MindView file with, I simply select the drop-down icon next to Shared, and I'll see a preview of the users that I've invited to share this file. If I need to edit those users' access, I simply select Edit Users, select the user that I'd like to edit, and change the access by selecting the radio button and choosing Save. MindView 4 allows document owners to lock particular branches when sharing files through the shared workspace. The ability to lock certain users out of specific branches gives the owner the power to control the flow of work, the allocation of tasks, and adds a safeguard to ensure that the file is accessed, updated, and collaborated on by the rightful users. To initiate branch locking, you must first either save a file online to the shared workspace or open an existing file that has already been saved on the shared workspace. For branch locking to function correctly, you must first choose to share the MindView file with a particular user from the shared workspace. To complete the branch locking, simply select the branch that you'd like to lock, choose Manage Locks, select Add, and from the user list, select the individual user or users by holding down Shift, select OK, and choose to create the permissions, either read-only or write access. For this example, Andrew will have read-only access to that branch. When I select OK, the branch has now been locked, giving Andrew read-only access to that branch. If I'd like to remove any locks or edit the locks, I can simply either select Manage Locks to change permission or lock the branch from other users, or choose to remove all locks, allowing both read and write access to the branch by any user. MindView 4 allows you to automatically distribute tasks to resources through the shared workspace, simply by specifying the resource's email address. Easily track task status by synchronizing your shared workspace task list with your MindView file. In order to distribute tasks, first select the task, assign a resource, save the MindView file online by choosing Save Online, choose the Matchware Shared Workspace, select the desired location to save the file, and once you have successfully saved the file online, select Distribute Tasks to Resources. When I distribute tasks to resources, I can choose to include summary tasks,
Okay, now that gets a little detailed, but if you want to go back and watch the whole thing to get the concept, the details we don't need because ours won't be this layered. But you can see the function of structuring this. I mean, it gives you a lot of options. But I think if you think of you're going to invite someone to your desk and you're going to share a file with them at your desk, they can sign that file, they can have a copy of it, all this sort of stuff. Just think of your shared space as being your desk, and you're inviting someone into your office, and you're going to share that workspace with them. So it's as simple as that. And I think the desktop, the one that we will be using, is much more focused on what we do in real estate, and it will be much more practical for you to deal with. There's a question. Did you say they can sign at, well, Matchware is not the one, but you can sign documents on doorsteps. I don't know why I'm saying desktop. Yes, you will be able to sign digitally. So it's, there are a lot of pluses to this whole approach, and I think it can simplify your business. Why do we worry about that? Folks, here's the main thing. If projections for this business are correct, you may be competing in 3 or 4 years with online brokers who may live in Timbuktu, Iowa, and maybe they're doing a deal for 3%, and you want the 6%, but competitively, you're getting bid out of the market. Well, if you get these skills down to where you can use a shared workspace and leverage your time better and your cost, then you're going to be able to build your business and compete with the best of them. And I think it's important. How critical is it today? I don't know that it's critical, but I think it's a skill you're going to have in a couple of years, 3 years, in order to compete successfully. Okay? Well, I hope that's helpful. At least it gives you a flavor of some of the things that are being created that will certainly make your business more streamlined and help you to reach a younger generation than what most of us are as we try to help people buy a home. And the 25, 35-year-olds are going to be very much into technology and very much into online when it comes to their business dealings. Okay, I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions that I can help you with, let me know. I'll be glad to do that and make it happen. Let's have a great week together. Okay? Thank you.